What's going on YouTube? Today we are taking a look at this beautiful knife. This is the Custom Knife Factory, or CKF, Marauder. Super cool knife. One thing I will say about this, before we begin the video, there's a lot of micro texturing all over this knife, and for some reason it has a way of doing some weird things with the camera. So hopefully you don't get these big, sharp, almost like rainbows, that the light's just doing some weird things. And that's fine, just because it's very micro milled. But anyway, not a big deal. We're going to go over this knife together, take a look at it, give you some feedback on it, what I think of it, and some final thoughts on whether or not I think it's a worthwhile contender in their lineup. So let's get started on this, and once again, this is a very casual fireside conversation. I'm not going into excruciating detail on anything. I'm just reviewing the knife as it comes out of the box, with what I think my opinion is on it, and whether or not you should consider it. So pretty standard. I guess right out of the gate, let's kind of review the size on it. A lot of people want to know what that kind of is. It's a big guy, okay? There's no beating around the bush. It's a big knife. And let's take a look here. It's got to be 9 inches, a little over 9 inches. Blade-wise, it's over 4. 4 1/8. So not crazy over 4, but it is over 4 inches. And for a knife this size, I had done a video on the Eagle Rock recently on that one, and I've got that here beside me as a comparison. And remember, the camera is not overhead, so it's at a bit of an angle towards me, so it's pushing down that way. So just to kind of give you an idea for perspective here. So what is further back will look bigger. But there's your perspective compared to the Eagle Rock, which is a big knife. And if we compare that again with another knife here, what would we compare that guy with? Maybe like a Shirogorov 95 or F95 for size. So it's not small, but at the same time it's not ludicrous. It's not the Eagle Rock, which is a monster blade. Love this thing. Super cool knife. If you got a chance to grab one of those, you'll love that as well. But the video is not about a Shiro, it is about this guy. So let's kind of get into this here. So like I said, a little over 9 inches long, a little over 4-inch blade. It's got a real nice satin finish to it. And the other thing that I think looks so cool is it's got this nice folded kind of cut into it, which just makes it look so sharp, pun intended. And in terms of the hardware, we've got these nice, big, almost like a pearl kind of look to it. I don't know if that's if the camera's going to pick up on this, but it's almost like a pearly kind of look. It could be titanium, I'm not too sure. I'm sure online you can find out what that is. This is an M390 blade, which hopefully the camera will also pick up on that. This guy is number 50, I believe. Which, just because of the light, this is hard to show, but it is kind of just in here. Well, it's somewhere in there. Maybe I can zoom in and show it. Does that help? Man, I don't know how these guys do all these videos with this. Like, it is... doing a video with, metallic, super shiny things is a lot harder than you think. It comes with everything you need from the case. So you get this gorgeous red Custom Knife Factory cloth, which I think looks terrific. Everyone loves that. It's just a sharp looking setup. You get the beautiful CKF. Let's center that a little bit better for you guys, make it look nice and presentable. Maybe that'll be my screen grab. You get that little sticker. Now you get with the Marauder this little card that comes with it, so hopefully you can see if you want to pause and take a look at some of the different configurations that it's available in. nice, cool, kind of cool little credit card. I've always dug that, and how it comes with a nice kit. And then in terms of what else do we have here, I believe it comes with hardware. I'm not going to open this bag up, but just like a lot of the other stuff, it's like a little bag with some bearings and I believe some more pivot hardware. That's just a backup in case, you know, 5 years down the road, you're doing something, the knife's discontinued, and you need that hardware, which it's just nice to have, like I said. And then they always they always put these little goofy jokes inside here. So, what kind of math do snowy owls do best? Owlgebra. You know, I don't know if that's some kind of Russian joke, but fun enough. And then, as always, comes with this beautiful. I love these cases. They're super awesome, and just love these CKF cases. Lots of room inside them. Super padded. Just love that stuff. So, it's a nice home, and if you need to kind of keep it looking good, you know, you can always utilize that, and you know, keep it nice and padded and whatnot. If you're into that sort of thing, you know, I don't know about you guys. I store my knives in a nice thick case, and I've never had a whole lot of problems with it that way. But there you go. So yeah, getting into the knife a little bit more here. So what makes this thing so cool? Well, you know, from what I saw on NC Blade, which is where this one came from, it's offered in 2 configurations. One was a black kind of carbon fiber shell, and the other was titanium, which is this. And it's kind of like a raw, almost like a stonewash titanium, which looks really good. It's got this really cool clip as well, which depending on the angle of the light, hopefully you can see that. It's you know, picking up on all kinds of different reflective light. It looks real sharp. I like that. It's a good look. You know, it's a nice little touch, especially against, you know, take something plain Jane like titanium finish and kind of puts something, what would you call that, like a Damascus or Damascus or something. Just kind of gives it a little bit of flavor. You've got this cool custom knives, little imprint here on the titanium, or I don't know if that's milled in or what, but that looks nice and sharp as well. Really cool. The obviously got a nice big flipper tab, which is cool. Some people aren't going to like that, but you know what? Like, if you look at the profile of the knife and how the spine is rounded up higher, if you compare that with something flat, if you take like the flat here of the angle, you know, it kind of rounds off if you follow that edge. It covers that off. So that's not a big deal. I think that's cool. It's not as big as you think. Really comfortable. It's dual-sided as well on that thumb, or on the flicker, the tab. So you kind of have some grip on the top as well. You have grip right on the front here. So fires out real nice and smooth. No complaints there. This is a terrific knife. No concerns with the actual balance of things. Is it a little forward? No, it's not bad. It's kind of right in the middle there. A little further behind the pivot. Yep. Super thick handle as well, I'll say that. It's you notice it right away. Like, it's not thin. And if we compare this with what would be a kind of comparable here? Well, if we compare, the Shiro, right? If you look at that guy, the Shiro's not a thin knife either, and it's substantially thicker. Like, look at this, substantially thicker than a Shiro, which is cool, right? It's a big knife. It's meant to be a big knife. It's not small, you know, compared to if I've got a bug out here. Here's a bug out. Like, that should just give you everything you need to tell right there. Everything you need to see. It's big. It's in your face. It's loud. And it's not going anywhere. So, you know, it's not going to be something that's going to hide in your pocket. One of the things that I originally thought might be an issue with this guy is, you know, that big swoop in the handle. So if you're looking at this, you're like, oh man, this is, it doesn't look traditional. You know, a lot of people like a flat handle that goes back, kind of follows that line. This is very curved in the spine. And I'll tell you what, like, it's a lot, in hand, it makes a lot of sense. It's really not bad. Good jimping up on the blade as well. It feels like the inside of the handle here really hugs the inside of your palm when you hold it. Like, it just fits. It's gonna sound silly, but it's like holding a real relaxed gun. It just fits real nice. It's really good. I like that. And you know, there are a few weird handle designs out there. This is certainly not the weirdest. You know, it definitely looks more exaggerated than it is in hand. But once you put it in your hand, you kind of get it. You know, you can wear it with gloves, you can wear it without. Blade thickness, it's pretty substantial. It's not a hollow grind either. With that fullard, feels very flat, I'd say, and that's not a bad thing. You know, it's a big knife. It's meant to do big tasks. So, you know, you've got this nice big choil up here as well. You know, you can choke up on that if you really wanted to do some tasks that are, you know, going up on the blade a little bit. I will say this as well. The one thing that drives me bananas about choils here is, like, either do it or don't do it. So when you have such a little tiny choil here, it drives me nuts. It's like you can't fit a finger in there. Like, I'm a big guy, I'm 6'3", big hands, XL gloves, and I like having some room on the handle, right? And it's like, what are you going to do with this? Like, yeah, you can just get your finger in there a little bit, but, like, come on, what are you really going to use that for? There's not a whole lot you can do with it. So, you know, it's not bad, but it'd be kind of cool if it was a little, you know, just a little different. Wouldn't hurt. Little bit, you know, a little bit bigger would be all right. You can kind of tuck that in there, maybe cut that edge out a little bit. I don't know, just an idea. I'm just a regular guy, so that's just my idea there anyway. In terms of what else here, so we've got this real big thick back spacer, which almost covers the entire thing, which, you know, it's got a nice gear pattern. It's a different kind of off color to the rest of the knife. It's almost like an anodized black or DLC kind of coat. Maybe more DLC, rough DLC, kind of a matte color versus a gloss. So looks good, kind of hides in well with the inner frame, right? Because these scales are on top of an inner frame. So it looks real nice. And the longer it is, I also dig how they put a little, you know me, I'm not a big pocket clip guy, but I dig how they kind of work that in there for the big guys that want a little leather pigtail on there. You can do that. Hardware wise, I can't tell you what that is. It looks like it's probably T8 or 10. It's not 6, so it's definitely not bad. In terms of, obviously, it's not a folding knife. Or sorry, geez, what am I saying? It is a folding knife. It's not a frame lock. It's a liner lock, right? So it's full length inside, which is cool. It looks good. We do have some machining inside? It's kind of hard to tell. Yeah. So the inside frame is all kind of machined out. And, you know, if I can find a photo of this taken apart, I don't want to take mine apart because it feels so good. But the inner liner here, you can see that it's drilled right out to make take some weight out of this. It is a heavier knife, right? Like, first and foremost, it is a heavier knife. So, you know, any weight savings is great, but definitely not the end of the world. What else do we got here? Well, we've got some grip kind of milled into the back here. That's interesting. I'm not sure why. So the gear, you know, maybe in conjunction with the gear spacer on the back, and then this on here. I'm trying to think, like, like if you're holding this, like, look how much room I still have coming off there. I don't really see, like, I'm not even hitting that, so I don't know what the point of that is, unless you're holding it in a different manner, in which case your thumb's going to be up here. Maybe that's for your finger there. Maybe I could see that if you're holding it backwards. But I don't know, just a nice little add-on maybe for gloves or something. It's not going to be a deal breaker. And then, like I said, that finish on the blade is just beautiful. That looks terrific. Nice, not stone wash, so it's going to show some scratches, just being the satin finish. But looks great overall. An absolute banger of a knife. Great action on it. You know, Custom Knife Factory's always done a real good job of these. And one of the things people always want to, they always comment on videos is I don't show the action of the knife enough. Good centering as well. Hopefully the camera's able to pick that up, but yeah, that's dead center to me. No rock on anything. I remember I was talking on the Eagle Rock. I could touch it over to one side, and this has none of that. It's absolutely solid. So you know what? I think Eagle, or not Eagle Rock. I think Custom Knife Factory's back in the good books with a solid design, good attention to detail. I love you know, the M390. Great choice of blade on the ergonomics of this. You know, it's thick. I'd love to look at the heat treat. I don't know what they did. I'm sure it was on that little card that I showed earlier. But I just love this. Like, I don't know if it's just me, but Custom Knife Factory does this thing. Like, the action on their knives, it's so unique. You know, it obviously runs on bearings, but like, the action is just so solid. It just floats down like it's just so easy. It just floats right in. And it's, I don't know, maybe it's the sound of having a full back spacer on here, which kind of insulates this, the knock sound or whatever of the blade pushing air inside. I don't know, but they always seem to sound so similar. Almost like a hollow sound. Blade falls down controlled, which is what you want. When you release the liner lock here, push it in, that little tab there, that'll definitely hit your finger to prevent it from falling. And then once it gets going, you know, it kind of does the rest on its own without too much effort. Yeah, the clip looks great. I love, you know, I'm really liking this a lot more than I initially thought I would. You know, when I saw it originally, I was like, oh, it's such a curved handle. I think it's going to look silly. I don't know, like, it's really not bad. Like, compared to, like, an Adonis, the carry profile's, like, less. People carry these every day. You know, like, people carry this every single day, no problem. They love these knives, and to me, it carries almost bigger, which is kind of silly. I don't know if that's a thing. AD20 would probably be another comparable I'd put it up against. That's an AD20S. Potato tomato, same thing. But do that. Show there. You know, size wise, pretty similar. Once again, super similar. So yeah, it's a big knife, you know, over 4-inch blade, but the profile of it, the thickness of that AD20, like, look at the difference. It's not a whole lot. I will say this feels a lot more solid. Like, it's not a hollow sound. Whereas these, they sound hollow, and that's just because, you know, you're taking a tie scale, you're putting it on an inside frame that's drilled out to create air pockets. You know, this guy has nothing on the inside. It's a slab of titanium, and that's it. Super, super cool knife. Got into those because of Pocket Priorities. He absolutely adores those things. But overall, absolutely banger knife. I'm digging this. And I think people are going to love this guy. It's a clear winner. And another one that you know, only a couple hundred made, so it's gonna hold its value moving forward. And being number 50, I think some people are going to dig this one. So there you go. So hopefully I hit what I needed to on this guy, but that is the Custom Knife Factory Marauder in titanium with that micro-milled stone washed finish. I think that looks absolutely terrific. People are going to love this thing. Home run. Alright guys, thanks for stopping by. Any questions, leave them below. Otherwise, like, subscribe, share. Definitely helps the channel, especially early on like it is now. Okay, cheers. Talk to you later.